To today's chapter meeting. We are doing a unique tribute to Irish music today. Just a little bit of housekeeping before we start talking about the music. If you want to participate in our collaborative recording, make sure that you get it in by March 14th. So that means you record yourself playing and you put it in that folder, that Google folder that I provided. Yes.
Can you send out the place to put it again? Because I can't find the email.
Sure.
I know you sent it, but I can't find it.
That's okay. I'll send it again. It's a Google folder that I enabled for everybody to just put recordings in. And because we're not limited right now by a cappella, if you want to do more than one part, feel free to do so. So if you want to do 2 parts, feel free to upload 2 recordings and we'll figure it out from there. All right, and then the next bit of housekeeping is next month. The first Sunday in April is Easter, so we will not be having a meeting on Easter. We will have our meeting the next week, and we are hoping for good enough weather to do an outdoor playing meeting like we did in September and October. We're hoping for good enough weather, but we will, if we wind up being outside, record that so anybody who is not available to join us can participate online. Oh, what was that, Jarrett? Jarrett said something in the chat. If you're having problems hearing, let us know in the chat. Okay, so let's share our screen and share my sound. That's my shared screen. And let's get to what we're doing today. All right. So welcome to our March chapter meeting, our unique tribute to Irish music. We were kibitzing a little bit about our Irish stories, and I've got my fake Guinness here. This is actually chaga tea in a Guinness glass. So I prefer to eat my calories rather than drink them. And so today we are going to be talking a little bit about Irish music and making it our own because, well, the recorder is not a traditional Irish instrument. So what is a traditional Irish instrument? We're going to talk about the Irish whistle. So the Irish whistle looks very similar to the recorder. It's my Irish whistle right here. You see you blow into it just like on the recorder. But one of the main differences is that there's no hole in the back. And this is what distinguishes it from a recorder. This lack of the hole in the back means that the instrument doesn't have as large of a range. So whistles have cylindrical bores. That means that the inside is a perfect cylinder. And some recorders have cylindrical bores. And some have conical bores, which means that they are fat on top and they get skinnier down toward the bottom. So that's another difference between the whistle and the recorder. The whistle are diatonic instruments. So that means that they play in basically one key and one key only. So if your piece is in the key of D, you have to find an instrument that is in the key of D. And there's a little D etched on my whistle. Whereas recorders, even though we might be a C recorder or an F recorder, we can play in multiple keys. We might not want to play more than 3 flats and 3 sharps, but we can play more than 3 flats or 3 sharps. Also, because these are diatonic instruments, they don't live in a family or a choir like the recorder does. So you're not going to find a soprano D whistle and an alto D whistle and a tenor D whistle and a bass D whistle. They're just going to be D whistle or C whistle or things of that sort. And as such, because they don't play together in a choir, the Irish traditional music is melodically focused. So in many cases, there will be no harmony for a particular tune whatsoever. And unfortunately, a lack of a harmony part makes for a dull recorder consort, so therefore we will not be looking at these tunes that have no harmony. So if you are interested in tune-based music, though, for the recorder, I found a couple really nice little volumes. Here's one for alto and bass. That's the tunes of O'Carolan, and then a generic, it's called Celtic Music, for soprano and tenor. Irish music is also not written down. Traditional players learn by ear, and they share their variations, and they make up their own variations. So many musicians have tried to transcribe these tunes over the years, and don't worry, we're not going to be playing by ear. We are going to be using music. So many of the Irish tunes that you'll find online seem to come from the 19th century, but many tunes were passed around earlier than that. And so I just want to start today in the 18th century. And one authentic Irish composer is Turlough O'Carolan from the 18th century, and I just included his book up here of his tunes. He was born in County Meath in Ireland. He went blind by the age of 18 from smallpox, and he was taught music and harp and toured around Ireland playing, and many of his tunes are dedicated to his patron, and you can find the recorder book at that link. We're on our website, by the way. But today we are going to start with, he's not Irish, but he wrote a tune for a new Irish tune as quickly as he could. This is Henry Purcell, and he wrote what's called a new Irish tune. And this tune is recorded by the Baltimore Consort in the Art of the Body song. We're already going to be getting a copyright claim, so I'm going to go for broke and play a little bit of this for you. You can find the full audio here. And here we go. Can you hear me? Oh, so I decided to stop it before we get to the words because I really don't want a big copyright strike. And we are going to be looking today at Purcell's, an arrangement of Purcell's My Thing Is My Own, which he called New Irish Tune. I suppose I should pull up the actual music for a moment. I forgot to do that ahead of time. My apologies. All right. Okay. This tune is arranged This tune is arranged for soprano, tenor, and bass. However, it is quite possible to play it on alto. The soprano part on alto. There's no reason it has to be soprano. And unfortunately, you get what you pay for. It is a free arrangement, and it should say in the time signature 6/4 instead of 6/8. So if you'd like to play along with me, we'll start with the top line. So sopranos and altos, you can play the top line. We will omit the repeats for right now. If I see Vicky's headphones fly off her head, I'll know that it's way too loud. So here we go. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6. those little ornaments, just think of those little appoggiaturas and trills, just like normal from the 18th century. They're usually on the beat. All right, tenor line for anybody who's playing tenor. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you have to have good lungs for that tenor line. All right, if you are playing bass today, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, and if everybody's good on that, we can go to the full play along. So choose your instrument. 1, 2, 3. And we will make it big. Is this full screen? There we go. That everybody can see that. All right, so here we go, full play along. 4, 5, 6. How did everybody do? I'm going to assume everybody did okay, unless they tell me otherwise. Oh, I can't seem to get to my page. There we go. All right, so just a little, The Art of the Body Song was the first classical music CD to receive a parental warning for lewd lyrics, and this is coming from music from the 18th century, so, you know, look that CD up, it's good fun. Yeah, okay, yep. Gotta show my Guinness glass, even though it's full of tea. Okay. The next tune that we have today, I could not find the exact tune anybody playing None Can Love Like an Irishman. So we have an arrangement, and I could not for the life of me find the exact tune we're going to be playing. The closest thing that I could find is coming up as soon as this little screen gets out of my way. So this little group are called Crack Addicts, C-R-A-I-C, the Irish word crack, and they use a whistle. So I thought we'd listen to a little bit of this, even though it's not the exact tune that we are going to be playing. So we don't need to listen to the whole tune, as it's not quite the same as the one that we're going to be playing, but you can hear how it's very melodically driven. There's not a lot of harmony going on. All the men were singing in unison, but we do have a lot of rhythm going on. So I think that the next thing that we should add to our Irish recorder consort is the Celtic drums. So I'm going to stick our conductor Jim on that to get us a nice bodhran drum. So he's saying yes, he's going to get us a drum. All right, so we'll pull up the next piece. There are a lot of arrangements of Irish tunes for recorder consort. Where we came into problems with this particular format is that they weren't public domain. So yeah, we get what we pay for. If you're looking for some really nice arrangements, you can find a lot on Sheet Music Plus. So we have our particular version of None Can Love Like an Irishman, and it can be played on 2 C instruments. I chose to record it on soprano, tenor, and bass, and that bass line could also be played alto up. So if you are practicing your alto up skills, you can also play that bass line alto up. The top line, the top tenor or soprano line, will also work on alto if you just kind of omit the low D here or take the low D up. You don't have to actually read the whole line alto up. So it is quite possible to do. So if you are playing the top line, you can play along with me. I'll be using soprano, and I'm going to do my best on scrolling here, but yeah, I might lose that battle. So if you have your own music, that would be best. And in the recording, I'm going to be repeating the whole piece, but right now we aren't going to repeat. We're just going to play once through. So we start on beat 2. 1, 2, 1. One of the things that I noticed about these arrangements of Irish tunes is that they set the soprano recorder or that top voice really high. I mean, I don't think that I usually play that many B's and A's and C's on a regular basis when I'm playing soprano recorder. So they set those pretty high. Let's play the second C part. So I did that one on tenor. And this one is just making a nice, part of a nice drone. So here we go, second line. 1, 2, 1, 2. So, not too taxing. I think if you wanted to read alto up on that line too, that would work pretty well. It doesn't go terribly out of the range. Actually, that would work really well if you wanted to also read that middle line alto up and practice your alto up. Now, I chose to do the bottom line on bass, even though it's written in the treble clef. So if you want to, well, play with your head, here we go. But you could also play alto up. So 1, 2, 1, 2. That one always plays with my head. Like after on the second page when we go into the quarter notes, I just start reading bass clef, and it's like, oh no, wait, no, that really is an E. I'm doomed. All right, so we're gonna go to our full play along. So this tune is being called None Can Love Like an Irishman, but again, I couldn't find the full original tune for us to play, which I thought was really weird. And it's going to take me a second to set this up.
1.
All right, hopefully everybody can see that. And start.
1, 2, 1.
All right, yay! So we got that one. Oh. My screen wants to block my way. Okay. So those were just 2 tunes that I found that we could play as recorders. But the bulk of the Irish music that I found is in the form of dances. Much of the traditional Irish music has a very social purpose, and dance is one of the very popular uses of the music. And one of the most, I'd say, frequent dances that I found was a dance called the Hornpipe. The Hornpipe was a dance that emerged in Britain and Ireland in the 16th century, so that's the 1500s. It is suggested that the dance developed on sailing ships, and some of the movements of the dance are inspired by what happened to a person as the ship lurches to and fro. So leave it to bored sailors to figure out how to try to make their movements graceful. I thought that was really funny. There are both fast and slow hornpipes. And this was really interesting. I found out that the hornpipe was danced in hard shoes because they want that stomping sound to help keep the rhythm as the dancers danced. And so, we heard the drum in the previous example. And so the shoes just add that extra bit of percussion. So I thought, oh, that's kind of fun. They add percussion with their shoes. Hornpipes are usually transcribed into 2/2 or 4/4 time, and they're written in eighth notes, but it is implied that the eighth notes are to be swung because we're following the lurching of the ship. Now here's where it gets really fun because I found this site. This is the Irish Traditional Music Archives. It's probably the closest thing that I found to a primary source about Irish music. And they had just images of, people dancing, just ordinary people dancing these dances. And they also have, basically people going around asking traditional players their stories and getting the traditional players to play their songs as they learned from their fathers. It kind of reminded me of like the Irish version of Bartók going around and taking down all the folk music. So here we are. We are going to watch this lovely couple, the Turbrides, dance an actual hornpipe. So here we go.
Hornpipe.
All right, I'll stop it there. You can get a sense that they're only being accompanied by a single flute. And you could hear their little feet stomping and adding the percussion. I bet these two really cut a rug. They're still cutting a rug. So this is the Traditional Irish Music Archives. And we happen to have a hornpipe today. Our hornpipe is arranged. So I'll pull that up. Again, I will probably be fighting a losing battle with scrolling the screen. So if you have your music, so we've got our hornpipe here. we will be swinging all the eighth notes. So that means the first eighth note will be longer and the second eighth note will be shorter. Sometimes it's written as dotted eighth, 16th. So we'll go through this. This is the Murphy's Hornpipe. And we'll omit the repeats for right now as we go through the parts. So here we go. We'll start with soprano. One, two, three. So hopefully everybody got into that swinging a little bit, even though it doesn't look like it should do that. Hopefully everybody got that. Okay, now here's where it gets hard. When you're swinging eighth notes and then you have to play on offbeats. So all of the horn players in the audience will probably be just fine playing the offbeats. So if you want to play along with the alto part, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's really very difficult to play all those offbeats, at least for a flutist. I don't do that very often. And we have something similar going on in the tenor part. So if you're playing tenor, here we go. Oh, let me move my music a moment. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and if you are playing bass, oh goodness, lay down that nice, firm on the beat bass line. So we'll just wait a moment. I'll pretend to drink my Guinness. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry about a couple notes there. All right. Now we'll go to our play along for Murphy's Hornpipe. Just have to wait for my screen to catch up with me. There we are.
1, 2.
I also chose to take most of these play-alongs much slower than is actually indicated, just so that people had an actual chance. An actual chance to actually get these notes out, because they are marked quite fast. So here we go.
1, 2, 3.
That one makes me very happy. I like that one a lot. That one comes from a suite that I found on IM Slip. It's called the Irish Dance Suite for Recorder Quartet. And some of the pieces work and some of them don't. That one seems to work pretty well. All right, now, who wants to dance a jig? The next most popular tune that I found was the jig. And the jig is a fast folk dance in a compound time, usually written in 6/8. And the dance is said to have originated in England, but it apparently spread throughout Europe, and clearly the Irish have made it their own. So I have a little bit of fun for us today. I hope that you all have your dancing shoes on. So if Tim is watching the recorder, we're actually going to learn how to dance the jig.
We're going to travel to Ireland now and learn a new dance called the Irish Jig. It is very cardiovascular. Your kids are going to love this one. It's a little difficult, but take the time, teach it to them, and they're going to absolutely love it. It starts off with part 1. It's 12 heel taps. You alternate your feet, count to 12, and then there's a chorus. So let's just do the 12 heel taps, and I'll show you the chorus next. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We go right into the chorus, and once you learn the chorus, you've got it for the rest of the dance. It's out, cross, out, together. Now notice I'm going to try to keep my hands right at my side, just like the Irish dancers do. So that's part 1 and the chorus. Then we're going to do part 2. Part 2 is heel, toe, heel, home. Heel, toe, heel, home. We do it again on the other side. One more time. So there's a total of 12 counts, and then we go right into the chorus. Out, cross, out, together. So each part of the dance has 12 counts, and then we finish with the chorus, which is 4 counts. Part 3, we like to call kick the can. We're going to kick our foot forward, then to the side, and then we're going to squish the can, or do a stomp, stomp. We're going to do that with one foot, then the other foot. Forward, side, squish the can, or stomp, stomp. Forward, side, stomp, stomp. That's 12. Then we go right into the chorus. Out, cross, out, together. Now the music lends itself to do the kick the can one more time. Outside, stomp, stomp. Outside, stomp, stomp. Outside, stomp, stomp. Right into the chorus. Out, cross, out, together. We're ready to start with number 1 all over. Again, it's 12 heel taps. You've got to remember that, and then the chorus. Then we go into heel, toe, heel, into the chorus, and then kick the can. So that's the sequence of the dance. Once you hear the music, it'll all fall right into place. Are we ready for the music? Let's do it. Now we're standing here, ready for the music. 5, 6, 7, 8. Heels. 9, 10, 11, 12. Chorus. Now we're going to do heel toe. One more time, and then the chorus. Kick the can. Outside, stomp, stomp. Outside, stomp, stomp. One more time, into the chorus. Kick the can again. One more time. Chorus. Start with the heels.
Okay, I don't want anybody to have a heart attack. If Tim was trying at home, I hope you had fun. We have that video linked on our website there, so you can dance your Irish jig anytime you want. That is a good workout. Okay. My screen seems to be a little bit stuck here, so let me see if I can close a tab. I'm gonna have to stop sharing for a moment so I can get my screen under control. All right, we do have a video of our favorite new friends from the traditional Irish, oops, sorry, shared the wrong thing. Our traditional Irish music archive, and they are going to dance a little bit of the slip jig for us.
The slip jig.
So this one has some different steps than the one we just learned. All right, and again, you heard that they were just being accompanied by a single flute. So, and they're very light on their feet. You didn't hear much stomping in that one. So we do have a jig today. Oops, let me pull it up. This is again coming from that Irish dance suite that I found online. This is a double jig, and I'm not really sure what makes it a double jig, except that maybe the form happens twice. So the double jig here, we're in 6/8 time. There are a couple of fermatas in this jig. When we came to those fermatas for the recording, I just held the fermata measure for 3 beats instead of 2. So I just added 1 beat on a fermata measure. And yes, I did take off quite a bit of speed so that we stood a fighting chance of actually getting this thing out. All right, I'm definitely going to be failing on turning pages here, so hope everybody's got their music all ready to go. And we'll start with the soprano line. Get that together for myself. All right, so The soprano line is going to be starting a couple bars in. I'll count 3, 2, 4, 2, and we'll come in. 3, 2, 4, 2. And then we're going to skip ahead to, what is that, bar 23? Here's bar 23. 1, 2. And then we'll skip ahead. 1, 2, 1. Going. For me, actually, let's go back to measure 41 because I failed at turning my pages. So let me pull that up. There we go. We're going to take the pick up to 41. 1, 2, 1. One, two, three, 1, 2, and then we're done. All right, so next up, if you are playing alto, in this alto part, there is one little bit here at measure 30. That goes a bit out of the range. Yes, we can technically play a high G. Yes, we can technically play an F sharp, but I was not about to sacrifice my teeth to do knee technique to get that F sharp out. So I took it down the octave when we get to measure 30. I took the second half of measure 30 and measure 31 down the octave. All right. Everybody playing alto? Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, wait a second. I'm playing the wrong instrument. My fault. I was playing a C instrument. We have to start again. 1, 2, 1, 2. I did. I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. I just realized that when my melody didn't work out. Boy, that's weird. Okay, I apologize, everybody. Let's go back to measure... What is that, 13, 12, 11. Let's take the pick up to 11, and I'm going to stay in F fingerings. My fault. 1, 2, 1, 2. about that page turn there. All right. Now we'll see if I can stay in C fingerings to play the tenor line. That might be asking too much. We'll find out. I promise this is actually chaga tea. It's not actually Guinness. Okay. So here we go. Tenors. 1, 2, 1, 2. I got a better page turn that time. We'll see what I do with a bass in my hand. All right. For everyone playing bass, have your Guinness chaga tea. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2. When we get to the play along, all the fermatas will be much more consistent. All right, so here we go, our jig. One, two. Make it big so people can read it. All right, pick your part. And remember, the measures with the fermata will have 3 beats in them instead of 2. So the fermata is held for 1 extra beat. 1, 2, 1, 2. jig. All right. Oh, will you please let me get back to our meeting? Okay, I'm gonna have to stop sharing for a second so I can reshare. All right, so the last dance, which I don't have an example of for us to play, was the reel, and this is a dance that originated in the Scotland Highlands, but the Irish made it their own, and the Irish danced this in soft shoes as opposed to the hornpipe, which is danced in hard shoes. And it's also one of the first dances taught to students, and here the eighth notes are played straight. So I found this really cute video to demonstrate the difference between the Irish dances. Oops, sorry, you guys don't need to see that, so I'll just go through that commercial real quickly. Okay, here we go. All right.
Figured out pretty soon that generally a lot of the music is jigs and reels. And there are jigs and more reels and more jigs and more reels, and we just play jigs and reels all the time. And so figuring out the difference between those was kind of interesting. And it was a little difficult until I figured out a way that is kind of foolproof and it's funny, so it sticks with you. And so I'd like to share that with you really quickly. First of all, this is what a jig sounds like. Here is a reel. Here's how you can tell the difference. If you can say strawberry along with the beat, then it's a jig, like this. Strawberry, 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 strawberry. And then if you can say rutabaga along with the beat, it's a reel, like this. Rutabaga, 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 rutabaga.
All right, so if you can equate these dances to fruits and vegetables, then you can figure out which Irish dance you're looking at. So these are all linked on our website. You can find it all. Here's some additional resources. Now, we didn't talk at all about traditional Irish flute playing and all the little ornaments that they do, but if that is something that interests you to learn how to do those little ornaments and learn how to really do these Irish tunes instead of just doing arrangements in the recorder consort, here are some books that have been recommended. So a traditional Irish flutist who was at the Mid-Atlantic Flute Convention. Her name is Stephanie Dawn. She has an IG and a Facebook, and you can contact her if you are interested in taking any Irish flute lessons, and she does work with whistle and recorder a little bit, and she recommends these books. And then we have another book down here. And for online jam sessions, if you're the kind of person that wants to get into Irish flute playing, whistle playing, and go to a jam session, there is something called the session.org where you can join a jam session online. She recommended a number of tunes to begin with, and I found them online, and you can click on the links and look them up. So we have our little bibliography about the various dances, and you can also look up those resources. So did anyone have any questions today? Yay! No questions. So that is pretty much all for our salute to Irish music. So Jared, you can stop recording. I think we're good.
Thank you, Kelly. The dance was particularly fun when you were dancing.
Oh, thank you. I know I'm so graceful, you know.
That must be how they stay young, because that was not those older people. I mean, when they showed their feet and then you saw them and you never expected those feet to look have those people on the top of them, or at least I didn't.
They were very, very light on their feet. So there we go. All right, Jarrett, you can turn it off now. Jarrett! Oh, where's my chat? All right. You can stop recording. Okay. So
Probably had too much Guinness.
Chaga Guinness, yeah.